Tonight, in Christchurch, fishery officers go after flounder poachers.
You're starting to tell porcupines. You're telling untruths.
A cliff fall leads to a frantic search around Mangawhai Heads.
We don't have a GPS position, so we're just going to have to fly north.
And a boat collision on Auckland's harbour. With an area of nearly 200 square kilometres, Lake Ellesmere is located directly west of Banks Peninsula. Its shallow waters and abundance of fish make it a poacher's paradise.
We're starting to now get a better picture of who's involved, vehicles involved. We've got great observations of the fishing activities. We can see the fish going to the bins. We know he's taken more than 3 times daily limit.
Christchurch fishery officers have spent 10 weeks working on Operation Flatfish, an operation targeting suspected flounder poachers.
Looks like there's a whole family group. The whole family's arrived.
The daily limit for flounder is 30 per person. Today, the focus is on a group believed to be taking well in excess of those limits.
We suspect one person's coming in and clearing all 3 flounder nets that are here and taking away the flounder.
An intercept team position themselves a few miles up the road to catch any suspects.
When the vehicles come, they'll come over this way. We'll set up the cones and the signs prior to this driveway. We'll direct them, both vehicles, into here. From that point onwards, we'll isolate each vehicle, try and keep the people in those vehicles separate.
It's not long before one of the group gets to work clearing the net.
I've counted 25 flounder from this net.
The poacher quickly moves on to the second net, and soon his haul is too big for one man to carry.
He's just been joined by a second person.
The second man doesn't retrieve any flounder from the net, so he can't claim to be fishing.
Second person actually hasn't taken part in any form of clearing the net. He's just walked along and helped.
Over the next hour, the suspected poachers clear 2 nets.
So from the second net, he's taken 25 and he's just moving on to his third net now.
As the men return to shore, the intercept team get the call.
We're going to pull them at Coast Ford on the Lincoln side of Coast. What I need to know though is if they divvy up that fish, I need to know every single car that they go into. Our target has cleared 3 nets. He's in excess of 75 fish, which means that he's committed offences against the Fisheries Act and that they're only allowed to clear 1 net.
As the vehicles leave the lake, the intercept team swing into action, and it's clear they've taken the group by surprise.
1 silver car's gone down that way, and that's the one with the fish.
In Whanganei, a Northland Electricity Rescue Helicopter crew are responding to a call-out.
We don't have too much information at this time. We believe it may be a significant fall from a cliff, which could have any number of injuries, including significant limb injuries, spinal injuries, or at worst, he could have a brain injury.
The accident site is 60 km southeast of Whanganei at Mangawhai Heads. But there's a problem. The crew don't have a precise location for the accident.
We don't have a GPS position, so we're just going to have to fly north a couple of kilometres apparently from Mangawhai Heads.
With the injured man's condition unknown, every minute is critical. The chopper squad frantically search for their destination.
Here's Langs Beach, guys, just all eyes out to the right and see if we can spot these guys as we come around the coast. There is a walk rail on the top of some of these cliffs here.
But the first 2 bays are empty.
Obviously further around than I thought it might have been.
Finally, the crew spot the telltale colourings of local lifeguards, who have also responded to the emergency and decide to attempt a landing on the wet sand.
We only land down below the high tide mark if we really have to, which is looking like we need to in this case because there's nowhere else to land. And we keep it running. One guy stays in the aircraft so that we can lift it straight away.
With the high tide fast approaching, time is of the essence. If they can't get the helicopter in and out fast, they risk getting stuck. Fishery officers have set up an intercept for a group they believe are involved in poaching flounder.
1 silver car's gone down that way, Stewie. Go, and that's the one with the fish, I think.
Mobile phones, John? Yeah, they're pulling in already, so they know they're sprung.
While one car has evaded the checkpoint, the officers have the other vehicles isolated.
The 4 vehicles that have been identified at Lake Ellesmere, we've directed them into this camping area. We're speaking now to the occupants of those vehicles.
Fishery officers have had this man under surveillance for weeks, and with 2 previous charges against his name, if he is found to have broken the law again, he could be banned from fishing for 3 years.
Have you got fish in this vehicle?
Only this one and the red one.
Only this one and the red one?
The officers quickly get the count underway.
How many has he got?
29, and they're all of sized.
They're all sized, so they're above the minimum. As of such, he's free to go.
With this carload cleared of any wrongdoing, the officers refocus their attention on the main suspect.
78, 79, 80,
82.
81, 82.
Yep, sweet. 82.
So we confirm 82.
82 flounder is well over the daily limit of 30 flounder, but the man is claiming he's done nothing wrong, and he was just sharing his bin with this man.
Fish put it in my bin because he's got no bin.
Where's your fish? Is that down here? It's in the bin?
Yeah. I didn't have a bin, so I shared with Miller's bin.
You never took any fish?
From
the
my
net?
No, I had some fish in my net.
Who took the fish out of the net, out of your net?
Me.
Members of the group are trying to claim ownership of some of the fish and nets, a common trick employed by owners. But they don't realise that their every move has been recorded.
Who owns those nets?
It's mine.
I don't want you to say anything that's going to get you into further trouble, because
It's my net.
No, just listen, because we have been watching what's been going on for quite a while. So you have never got in the water to clear your nets.
Oh my gosh, yes. Do you know there's a boat over there where people go, they see me on the water
No, they're not
on
the day.
Monday. I went and checked my
Not
net on
not the days we've been watching you anyway.
With the group still denying any offence, things come to a head.
You're starting to tell porky pies. You're telling untruths, because as I said, this gentleman's videoing you. That man's taking photos of you, and yet you're trying to tell us that you went and took fish out of the net. You're leaving yourself open for unnecessary grief.
But that was my net. I asked them.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. We're not worried about your net.
Not worried about your net.
Yeah.
You did not take any fish out of the net. All you did was push the bin. That's all you did.
Realising the game's up, the friend now admits he didn't clear any nets, so the main offender has some explaining to do. The rules are simple. The daily limit is only 30 flounder from 1 net per person.
The main offender will be coming back with us for an interview. The fish will be returned to the sea. Hopefully they'll still live. So that's where we stand at the moment.
Back at the fishery office, the man gives away very little at a formal interview and requests a lawyer. He later pleaded guilty to taking excess flatfish and using more than 1 set net per day. He received 300 hours community service and was banned from fishing for 3 years. But taking more than the daily limit of fish isn't the only problem in the Christchurch area. A black market has emerged for buying and selling flounder.
Intelligence has led us to believe that flounder has been sold to the shop. So we're just going to do an inspection and see if they've got any flounder on the premises, and if they have, where it's come from. Hello, mate.
Morning.
How are you?
Good, man.
Good. I'm from Ministry of Fisheries.
Yeah.
Just doing inspections of the area of people that sell fish. Do you sell any fish? You don't sell fish? No. All right, but you do cook fish here? Yeah.
If we need fish.
Because you've got flounder for sale here.
Yeah, if we need flounders, and then we sell them here. Have you got any flounders here at the moment?
The man shows the officers a couple of flounder at the front of the shop.
So where did you get these from? 2 months ago. Oh, yeah. Have you got a receipt for it, by any chance?
You got no documentation for the fish at all? Is this the only freezer you've got? Yeah. Oh, we'll just have a wee look out the back.
Out back, they find another big freezer.
Oh, you've got a lot of flounder here, mate.
In Auckland, the Trillion Rescue Alpha crew are on patrol when an emergency call comes in.
another vessel broken down at North Head. Just requesting you could possibly go over and investigate.
Alpha copies underway, North Head.
A member of the public on shore has raised the alarm after seeing a small boat apparently on fire just off the coast.
Foreman has said that there has been smoke seen, also 3 kids on the boat.
Comms reporting fire and children naturally raises alarm bells.
Okay, this definitely looks like our customer anyway, guys.
The crew have found the boat in trouble. The fire's been put out, but the boat's in bad shape and is being towed by an even smaller vessel.
How are ya? What is your problem? Okay, so your motor's kaput then, is it?
Only one of the 3 kids on board the boat is wearing a life jacket. The Coastguard volunteer crew decide to take control and take over the tow from the Good Samaritan.
Thanks very much, sir. Thank you very much indeed. Okay, now watch the tension as we go past. Fingers out, ease it, let it go. Get them all to sit down, and if there's a problem, get someone to stand up and we'll stop instantly.
Put your life jackets on. Now, if there's any trouble, stand up and wave out.
With the boat secured and the children wearing their jackets, the crew of Rescue Alpha slowly heads to shore. But suddenly, one of the kids tries to get the crew's attention.
What's happened is that they've got a pretty old boat that doesn't look in very good repair, and their cleat seems to be pulling out of the body of the boat, which is a bit unsafe for them, so we're going to slow down a bit, take it easy, and keep an eye on it as we go.
Skipper Campbell is amazed at the risks people are prepared to take.
He's got 3 kids in the boat. If their boat, dare I say, disintegrated at sea, then there would be a lot of problems. And I'm sure he realises that his boat's not as good as it might be.
Taking it slowly, Coastguard managed to get the boat and crew safely back to Okahu Bay.
Thanks very much, eh?
No one injured?
No one.
Back on land, the boys can't wait to tell their tale.
We were riding along and then the motor cut out, and then we tried to start it again and it set on fire.
It's a good opportunity for Coastguard to give the skipper's son some advice.
So perhaps you're going to help him a little bit and say, hey, Dad, we've got to get the engine checked before we go out?
We were many times out and it never happened, and just when it happens for the first time you think twice,
Lesson learned. Campbell hopes they make a few changes before their next adventure.
Quite often we find that people go out in small boats and think, oh, we're only going a short distance, so we'll be safe. And they go out to the outsides of breakwater and it's rough as anything out there, and that's when they have their problems.
Near Mangawhai Heads, the rescue helicopter has raced to the aid of a man who has fallen down a cliff. But with soft sand and a fast approaching high tide, time is of the essence. If they can't get in and out fast, they risk getting the helicopter stuck.
We keep it running. One guy stays in the aircraft. If the tide starts coming in, we lift it straight away.
Yeah, so from how high? 12 feet. How's your pain? Not very good, okay, talking about pain.
The man, Noel, has 2 broken ankles and a possible head injury, and Sam needs to get his pain under control before they can move him.
Just keep your hands still. We're going to give you some, put a needle in it and give you some morphine, okay? A bit of morphine, it'll make you feel a bit lightheaded, but I'll take that pain away for you, eh?
Sam, Wally and the lifeguards present splint Noel's legs ready for transfer, but there's still some concern about the level of pain he's in.
How's that pain now? Still the same. Keep breathing that up, it's going to move you shortly. So just normal breaths of that, breathe it in, let it work, breathe it back out through the tube. Because when we move you onto the stretcher, it's going to be relatively pain-free.
With his pain under control, they transfer Noel onto the stretcher.
Keep coming, and easy down there. There you go, you okay? Is everyone right? Okay, hey, we won't get to say thank you, so thank you very much guys, excellent work.
Before the tide traps the chopper, Noel's safely on board and in the air, where he reveals how a cliff-top stroll ended in disaster.
I fell and I turned around and
I'd jumped, but I think the sea took me sideways. That's why I rolled. Okay, I can see.
How did you end up where you were?
Yeah, I crawled.
2 hours after Noel fell down the cliff face, the chopper reached Whangarei Base Hospital. After an extended stay, Noel is still hoping for further recovery to his ankles.
No, all good. We did a good job, well, with St John guys and also the lifesavers there.
In Christchurch, fishery officers have paid a visit to a shop they believe is buying flounder from an illegal source.
Do you sell any fish? You don't sell fish.
But out the back of the shop, more evidence is found.
We have just found a reasonably large quantity of flounder in plastic bags in his freezer. This gentleman said that he doesn't sell fish to the public and it's only for himself. We've got a flounder sign for $8 on the Bay Marie there.
All up, 39 flounder are found on the premises, and the man is pinning it all on his wife.
He's now saying his wife's bought it. When she gets here, I'll have a chat to her about where this flounder's come from. To be fair, I don't think this flounder's come from a legitimate source. I think it's come from the lake. Okay? I think it's come from Lake Ellesmere, so it's quite serious. So we're going to have to talk to you and your wife about where that fish has come from. Okay?
But the wife's return doesn't help clarify the situation.
If you've got any documentation relating to fish...
Yeah, I have so many here, so I'm going to look for it.
Okay. She's showing us the receipts for fish they're selling, which is jack mackerel, blue moki and kawai. There's no mention of flounder.
However, the lady does have a new explanation of where the 39 flounder came from.
One of our friends asked if we can bring the flounder to put in our freezer because this one is not good. Are we in trouble?
We need to know where the flounder have come from. Anything in the shop is deemed to be for commercial sale. I'm going to have to ask you and your husband to come down to our office for an interview about what's happened.
While the shop owner gave little away at the interview, he later pleaded guilty to failing to keep records of all fish purchased by a dealer and received a fine of $250. It's a busy weekend on Auckland's Waitemata Harbour when an urgent call comes through to Coastguard volunteers on Rescue Alpha.
One female person is reported as serious injuries, over. The location is currently off of Princess Wharf.
Go need everyone to hold on, guys. Okay, underway. It's going to be a washing machine in here.
2 sailboats have collided, and one has split in 2 and quickly sunk to the ocean floor. Coastguard vessels have been tasked to the emergency.
Whereabouts?
On arrival, the crew of ASB Rescue are already at the scene. The couple have been pulled on board the yacht that collided with them, and medics are trying to assess their injuries. The sunken boat's owner is visibly in shock, and his wife has suffered serious pelvic injuries and head lacerations after being caught under the bow of the other boat.
I require you to call an ambulance and just confirm one patient with the pelvic injury, was it? Yeah, patient with pelvic injury and husband with her.
They need to get her to hospital fast, so Rescue Alpha will need to clear the way through the busy boat traffic.
Okay, stand by on the horn.
But as they negotiate a path to shore, they spot another potential hazard.
What just went overboard?
Something just went overboard.
Something's overboard off that boat.
Stop!
It's a dog.
Hey, you dog!
Dog is overboard.
Finally, the dog owners notice the commotion and turn their boat around, and Alpha continues to shore.
Okay, we touch and go to get some crew ashore, please, guys. Bring you alongside of this wharf here.
The injured woman, Jill, is in intense pain, much to the concern of her husband.
Do you feel comfortable, Jill, to be moved like this? Because we can take you all the way out to the ambulance.
Quite a bit of pain in her left buttock.
As she's taken to the waiting ambulance, the only sign of the incident is a couple of scratches to the much larger boat. Jill spent a week in hospital and had months of physio to get back to full health. The sunken boat Gypsy was salvaged, but it will cost an estimated $350,000 to get her back on the water.